Okay, I think we're live. Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Hello, Kelly. How are you? Hope you had a great week. I guess there's just a little tiny bit of it left. Welcome. Hello, Jesse. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Hello, Mackie. Welcome. And hello, Luann. Thanks for joining. All right, maybe I'll wait just a little bit longer, not much longer, because I want to create 2 cards tonight, which I don't typically do. Hello, Beverly. How are you? Welcome. Oh, Jesse is sending you hugs, Darren.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hi, Penny. How you doing? Okay, I think we should get started. What do you guys think? Should we roll with it? Hello, Tina. Mackie says hello as well, Darren.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Donna. All right. All right, we got a pretty good crowd going. Let's get started, and we'll try to catch everybody as they come on. So today I wanted to create something. I am a big fan of going through my stash. When something new comes out, I love to kind of see what else it goes with in my stash, because obviously I love all the new stuff. I'm always looking at the new stuff. The new stuff is always the fun stuff, right? But obviously we have so many other fun things too in our stashes, and so I love to be able to combine the two together. So I am going to use tonight, first of all, the Groovy Waves paper pad. This is a new item. This is released with the Good Vibrations release, and I have to tell you, it's one of my favorites. This is what the whole pad looks like. You can kind of get a sense of all of the different papers that we're going to use. We're going to use the pink. We're going to use this one. We're going to use this one and the other side of it. So we will use this tonight. And we're going to use it with this blast from the past. So this is something I came across in my stash, and I made sure there were still some left on the Brutus Monroe site before I used it, because I would never want to put something out there and then be like, oh, sorry. So we've got the Warm Winter Wishes. Darren, your voice sounds deeper tonight, apparently.
Cool.
He thinks that's cool. And this set was released last, during the holidays, I believe. But what I love about this set is it's got cocoa, but it's also got this kind of like cider. And to me, that just reminded me of autumn. I loved just this whole feel. I love that when autumn comes, we're ready for sweaters. And I know it's the end of July, but yeah, he's a full baritone tonight. So I am always excited at the end of August, or I mean, the end of July going into August, because that's when school starts. I start thinking, oh, it's time to pull out the sweaters. It's time to start thinking about all of the fall fun bucket list things that I want to do. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, you know what? I think that I need to make a fall card with this. And then I just thought, oh, you know what? I have a color palette for fall. So we are going to those tonight. Of course, we've got to use the coordinating dies. We're also going to use the Sunny Sentiments. This was just released from the Create Your Own Ending event, and it had so many fun sentiments. We are going to use the Radiate Kindness sentiment tonight, but definitely check this out. Look at all of these great sentiments. They're all very positive, and just, I love them all. I think they're a lot of fun. I even got my favorite one on there, which is wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. I actually have a poster of that, but just because I love it so much. Okay, and then also this one is one that we've had for a little while, but it's a great basic staple to have in your stash. This one's called Occasional Greetings, and it's got every occasion you can think of. And we are going to use the Hello Autumn. So we're just going to get a little bit of a jump on autumn tonight. Hope that's okay with everyone. I hope that I don't depress you that summer is in its last leg. Okay. What was that?
I'm glad.
Darren's glad because it's been really warm. So he's looking forward to cooler weather. All right, so I'm just going to use this. This is just my little embossing plate for my die cut machine. It has definitely seen better days. But I am going to be doing some coloring tonight. So this is just giving me, I have the silicone mat on my glass, and I don't like the way that it works with coloring pencils. So I'm going to use this to give me a little bit of a harder surface. So let's jump in. Like I said, I'm going to try to create 2 cards tonight if time allows. So let's see what we can do. So I already stamped out 2 images so that would be done. The ink would be dry. And you'll notice I used a brown ink, and I'll tell you why. So this set, you can see it has really bold lines, and I wanted to soften it up just a little bit. So I used Simon Hurley ink. I used Weeping Willow, and we're not going to use anything watery, like we're not going to use markers. We're not going to use any kind of watercolor. So that works fine for this image. Nothing's going to run because we're going to use colored pencils tonight. So I'm just going to use a variety. I do believe we've got a few different colored pencils on the website, but I just kind of have all my colored pencils together in a bucket. So I can't promise you what brands I'm using. I'm just using kind of a mishmash. So use what you've got in your stash. And I am going to sit down for this because I am going to, like I said, be coloring. I'm going to try to color a little bit quicker just because I am live and, you know, you don't want to sit here forever. So I'm going to do the quickest version I can and still try to maintain the integrity of what I'm trying to do. So I'm just using this kind of, it's called Goldenrod, and this is a Prismacolor. And I'm going to use that for the first layer of my cider. And I always kind of start with the light colors because it's easier to build on the light colors and work from there. Where if I start with a dark one, of course, I can't build as easily on that. So I'm just coloring wherever the cider is. And I am sorry, I can see that I'm shaking the table. I will try to color, well, coloring quick and coloring in a way that makes the table more still don't usually go together for me. I will try. We'll see if we can master that. Okay, so I may as well color the cider on both since I've got the pencil handy. And you know, this set is fun because it's already got a lot of things colored in for you. So really, you've got a jump start. But I also lighten it up a bit. And that's one of the things I like about colored pencils with this set, because I want it to look a little lighter like cider is. And so this on top of the ink lightens it up. It's more opaque, where marker, of course, would not be.
Facebook gives our name that are in the fall already.
You know, already thinking fall. Thankfully, we're not quite fall, but you know, like I said, I just really wanted to put these 2 together. And where this month the Groovy Waves paper is new, our new release, I am doing it a little early because I wanted to use the 2 together. So I figured if I was going to feature that, I may as well get a little jump start. Okay, so now I'm to use, this is just orange, I believe. Yeah, this is just orange. So I'm just going to add a little bit of vibrance using the orange. What are you chewing on? Hmm? All right. Let me move that. Oh, you little stink. Well, if you want to see what my dog was chewing on, it was this. Yeah. Time for new shoes. You little stinker. She is quite the gal.
Those are your old ones, I hope.
Yes, they are my old ones, but still, they had a lot of wear in them. I have a little shelf of shoes in the same room as that I'm in, and well, it's not high enough, apparently. She took them off the bottom and she ran with it. And she's smart because I'm not going to scold her real bad when I'm live, right? She's pretty hard to scold because she's so cute. I have a hard time being very stern.
Yep, the way it's murdered.
What do you got now? Okay, you can have that. All right. Sorry, I had to sharpen my pencil. I sharpened it a little too much and my lead was broken. Okay, so I think actually we'll just add a little bit to our orange now, the little orange slice. All right. I love that paper pad too, Mackie. Ooh, a cornflower blue sweater. That would be so pretty. Now I want a cornflower blue sweater. I'm pretty sure all the fall stuff is going to start hitting the stores soon, if it hasn't already. Okay. Like I said, I'm kind of doing the Facebook color, the live color, I should say. So I have to like force myself not to get too precise. And I'm telling you, it's kind of a challenge for me because I do enjoy coloring so much and I do get a little crazy with it sometimes, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just doing a really light shade of this yellow just because pulp isn't white. It's kind of a yellowy color. And I'm just doing it very lightly anyway. Good enough. Okay. So now let's also use this yellow. Oops, I just did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay, had to do my cheat because I've already colored these once. So Benji, Daniel is my oldest son. Benji is my younger son, and he usually helps babysit dogs while I'm live. And he is at boys camp, scout. It's not scouts, but it's boys camp. So he can't rescue me tonight. So hopefully she won't do anything too much crazier than the shoe. All right. So we've got the base of our cup. And now let's add a little bit more to it. Let's use, there it is. So now I've got this color, which is the goldenrod that we had earlier. I'm just going to add some of that.
It says go live stream and go to the cart. You'll receive 20% off your order.
Oh, did you guys see what Christopher just put? If you go to the shop while we're live, then you get 20% off of your order. So definitely take advantage of that.
Someone on Facebook said they hate it when their favorite shoes break.
I hate it when my favorite shoes break too. Luckily, those weren't my favorite shoes, but you know, I did like them. little stinker.
And that's what the temperature is here, and today is 93.
It was 93 today.
Yesterday we had 6. Way better.
All right, let's see where we're at with this. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to use that goldenrod again. That seems to be my good base color for tonight. We're going to do our cinnamon sticks with the goldenrod. But look, we've used it several times and it looks different. It's not all the same color yet, you know? That's one thing I like about...
103.
Oh, wow. 103 is awful. Could be worse, I guess. We could be in Arizona. I love how with pencils, you can get different colors at different intensity. So do you guys color typically with pencils or do you use alcohol markers? Tell me your favorite. Oh, good. There's no code needed to get the 20% off. That's awesome. All right. So now let's move on to, let's do the hands really quick. Let's get
115 in Phoenix today.
Ooh, 115 in Phoenix. Yikes. There are 3 free gifts that can be added when you purchase. $25. At $25 you get glow in the dark embossing powder. At $50 you get the shooting star stencil, and at $75 you get both of those, plus you get what is the last thing?
I'm checking.
I know what it is, and it just slipped my brain.
Embossing.
Oh, the embossing ink, which will be helpful in using your glow in the dark embossing powder. Plus, if you're anything like me, I always love to have a fresh new embossing ink pad. I have one that I keep it's, what did you get into, you? Just making sure she's not going to get into anything that hurts her. No, she's fine. She's just destructive.
Mackie's favorite is alcohol markers.
Mackie, you are great with alcohol markers. Mackie is on our inspiration team, and she is great with the alcohol markers. I think they're fun too, but every now and then I just like to switch things up. And I do, like I said, when I'm leisurely coloring, I really enjoy pencils. I think I like that I can control them better, but I do enjoy alcohol markers as well. I love that we have choices and that we can use whatever suits our fancy. And let's see, I've got this kind of terracotta color. Is that this one? Yep. So it's got just a little bit of red in it. So I don't want to go too crazy, but I do think it'll blend into the skin tones that we're working with here. So then after I kind of lay out all the colors, then I just go over it and kind of blend it out with one of the lighter colors, which is kind of the same process really that you use with alcohol markers. You just have to feel the pressure and kind of know your tools really well. Okay, we've got the hands done now. So now I think what we'll do is the sweater. So follow me on this one because I wanted to start with the pink because the paper that we're going to use is going to have this shade of pink in it, but we're not going to leave the sweater this color. I just wanted to have this kind of an undertone in there just to kind of help everything tie together. Yeah, it is a fun stamp, huh, Kelly? Oh, I'm so glad that you're excited about fall. You know what? I wasn't offended. I didn't think that you were being sarcastic at all. Um, but I did know that I was kind of taking a risk because it is a little early. I'm pretty sure in about a week everybody will start doing fall, but I just, like I said, I wanted to do this card while the Groovy Waves paper was being featured for the release. So that was my reasoning. Okay, did you see how fast I did that sweater? That was some sort of a record for me. Okay, so now I am going to do the nails. This kind of pink color. Okay, so now I'm actually going to take orange, going to color on top of that. Yes, you do need this stamp. It is a fun stamp. Did you put it up? Oh, there's the QR code. Pink is your favorite color. Pink is my favorite color too. I always think I love pink and I love like turquoise and teal, but I always go back to pink. I don't know. I even have wanted to not because I'm like, is that original? Who cares? I like it and I'm gonna go with it and I'm gonna embrace it. As you can see, I got my nails done today and pink was never off the table for that. I was ready for some more pink nails. Pink is kind of the thing right now, isn't it? With all of the hoopla around the Barbie movie release and seeing pink everywhere. Are any of you planning to go see that?
Yeah.
Darren is signing right up for it. Okay, so you can see it has this kind of pink undertone, which is what I wanted to do with that. And then we're actually going to go in with our terracotta. And I just want to create a little bit of a shadow because you can see the hand is the palms of the hand are like right here. And I think just adding a little bit of shadow reinforces that.
Kelly's taking her daughter to see it this weekend.
Oh, Kelly, that's fun.
I don't think Benji would be too interested.
I don't have a girl to go watch it with me. I'll have to see if any of my friends want to, but oh my gosh, when I was a little girl, you couldn't, my mom never had to guess what to get me for my birthday or Christmas because it was always a Barbie. I loved Barbies. I even remember my secret shame of being 13 and secretly playing Barbies still. Because it was not okay to play Barbies past 12 when I was growing up. I don't know how everybody else was, but I just remember being just embarrassed that I still played them, but I still wanted to play them. Donna, see, we would have been playmates. You're a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, Penny. You wouldn't take littles to it. Yeah, I'm not sure what the premise of the movie is too much yet, but yeah, probably one you might want to see before you do take littles to it.
Yeah, it's not like a cartoon.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably not like the cartoons. Oh, I missed the whole handle of our mug.
I'm wondering if you're gonna get it.
Well, why didn't you say anything, goofball?
Because I didn't know if you're keeping it or not.
Well, we got it in there. All right, let's move along. We're almost done with the coloring, and I know that's the part that takes a minute or two. I'm missing one of my pencils. I guarantee it's hiding by my mat. There it is. Okay. So we're just going to color the mug. Speaking of turquoises and teals. You babysat so you could play Barbies. That's the best. You and your sister were about Barbies too as kids. Oh, I love that. And your grandparents bought you every Barbie thing you wanted. Oh, you were lucky. Woo! I kind of had a little bit of a stinky lot, I guess, because I'm the youngest of 5 kids. And so, money was always tight anyway. But we only got toys. When I was growing up, kids just didn't get toys the way they do now. And I got toys on my birthday and I got toys for Christmas. And my birthday is in November. So I had to wait for a very long time in between. But, somehow I managed to live through that. It's a crazy thing, right? But yeah, we did not just get a toy for nothing.
Candy says hi.
Hi, how you doing, Candy? Welcome. We were just discussing the Barbie movie and if anybody's planning to go see that. Where do you stand on the Barbie movie? Okay, so now we just need to, are these cloves? Is that what those are? I think that's what whole cloves look like. You can see I'm very gourmet and use them in all my cooking. What, Darren? I know. I know what she's got. She's okay. Okay. We're going to try to get those. And I'm not worrying about coloring every little bit of the cloves because I feel like they would have a little bit of a shine. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but we'll leave a little bit of a highlight on there. Like I said, I'm not being super meticulous about that. Plus, I think we're done with coloring. I know that I'm about done with it, so I'm sure you're done watching me color. I do feel like we need a little bit of shading on our cinnamon just to give it a little bit more dimension, but I'm not going to go nuts on it. Okay, we're going to call that good. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to do this next so that it has time to dry. But this is the Sunshine Glitter, the Sunshine Yellow Glitter Glaze. And I want to use, I had a paintbrush over here. It's probably slid under my mat. So I'll find a new one. Bear with me for a second. I'll find it as soon as I'm done. Happens. And hopefully it's not got any color in it, because if it does, we're going to have some interesting cider. So I'm just adding a little bit of sparkle, and we're going to do one other thing after that once it dries. So like I said, we're just going to kind of let it do its thing for a minute while we're finishing the cards. Then, oh, I didn't know there was a Hunger Games prequel. I guess I'm really in the know. That sounds interesting. What's it called? Darren's ears perked right up too.
Hi, Donna.
Well, hello, Donna C. How you doing? Candy loves big action movies in the theater. I get it. And you'll stream it, Mackie. I get that. Candy loves the actress. Did I miss any other comments, Darren? I'm looking down a lot, so I may be missing a few.
The one talk about the Barbie, the grandmother.
Uh-huh.
Because they lived in Brazil and they lived in Pennsylvania. So.
Oh, you know what? I just want you to know that I can't see all the names from Facebook for some reason, but I am reading your comments, so I can understand why your grandma would get you all the Barbie things where you didn't live close by. Okay. I remember, I think I might have told this before, but I'll tell you again. So I have like a distant cousin. I guess it's like a second cousin or something. So not somebody who I like grew up and played with and all of that all the time. But I went to her house maybe 3 times in my whole life. But I do remember going to her house, and their family was quite wealthy. And I told you already that my family was not. And I just remember that uh, their playroom, there were 2 little girls that were not really far apart in age, so they played together. And they had not one, but they had 2 Barbie dream houses. And I was just amazed because I remember seeing the Barbie dream house in the store and thinking, $99.99. Whoa. It was so unattainable. I couldn't even imagine it. But they had 2 of them, and they had 2 of all the Barbies because I'm sure their parents didn't want them to fight. So it was just a funny thing to remember because I was so in awe. Okay, so I told you we were going to use this paper, and I'm going to tell you what I did just because I don't think we need to do it twice. But I cut out the whole circle. You can do it first or you can do it second, but I cut them both out. So I would have the little orange one separate, and then I cut it from the big one. So this was the piece that was left out, and you can see what I did here. So this side has a little bit of a lip around it, but I really, when I finished kind of designing the card, I was like, I like the orange side, and I'll just use that side because see, it's got the orange on the other side. So what that ended up looking like was I cut down this piece of paper is it looks like this. And because I cut it out twice, I've got that little border that shows through the circle. Let me move that down a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. So I'm going to use some Lagoon cardstock, and we will mat. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to just get those on there really quick. And if you need circle foundation, circle dies, our circle foundation dies are amazing. So definitely check those out if you need some circle dies. Okay, let me grab some Barely Art glue. I may even be able to get it to come out. There we go.
Donna said she's glad to see you back home in your space.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be in my space. Oh my goodness. Can I tell you guys? So last week when we were live, I was live at my sister's house. I was visiting my sister and my family in Utah. And we had already decided we wanted to go live together. I really wanted her to, she's the person I craft with when we live near each other anyway. But so I thought, oh, it would be so fun to have her on the live. So her tripod didn't turn properly to be able to have a down view. So we had to get really, really inventive, and we had the scariest little setup. It was so sketch. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it through the whole live before everything came crashing down, but we made it happen. we had an easel propped, like she's an amazing painter. And so we had her easel kind of on an angle. So it was like leaning against the table, and we were using rubber bands to keep our phone uh, on that one to hold it that way. And then her other one, she had a tripod that wasn't quite right either. So we had that one with the rubber band with my phone. It was amazing. It was just, it was quite the sight. All right, so this one, I think we'll pop this up a little bit for fun. So let's use some foam.
Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, about how President wrote snow came to power.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to have to see that, Candy. You know, I love Brutus Monroe cardstock. There are tons of really great colors, and I know more are coming out. So keep watching for that. Thank you, Mackie, and thank you, Tina. We had fun. It was a very nice visit. It had been 3 years since I had been home to see my family. I had not been home since my father's funeral, and so it was definitely much overdue. And it was really, really nice. Really, really nice. Got to hold all the new babies. All right, that's a little crooked, but we're going to pretend it's not. I might even turn it so that it doesn't seem as crooked. To me, when it's along the bottom, I don't notice it as much as when it's on the top. But yeah, it is definitely crooked. Okay, so we've got that one done. And let's see how dry it's getting there. It'll be dry when we're ready for it, so that's good. So we'll set that one aside for a second, and we will get to the next thing ready to go. So I'm going to use this paper. I'm going to use both two pieces of it, because I'm using the front is going to be from the print, and then I'll use the back for a mat, which is perfect when you have this paper pad, because you never have to wonder if the mat is going to match. Because sometimes I love to mat everything. If you've watched me very much, you know that I love to mat all my cards. And so, you know, finding that right shade to go with your pattern paper can be kind of tricky. But when you've got the solids right there, it sure makes it easy. Okay, so I'm cutting this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. There is a retirement sale going on at burgessmonroe.com, so definitely check that out. There are some really fun items in there. I know I've seen some of my old favorites in there, and it was fun to revisit them. Okay, so this one down. This one is, again, the 3 3/4 by 5. Looks like I got a little smudge on there. Hopefully that won't show up. Okay. What's that? Are you making fun of me, Darren?
I'm making fun of it. It's a smudge, not a smudge.
Listen here, bud. All right, so I'm not going to mat this just, yes, I am, because I already glued it. Trust me to do that. Okay. Well, hang on a sec. I am going to try, since I got a little ahead of myself. Actually, it's okay. I know how I'll do this. Okay. It's going to be all right. There's typically a workaround, and I believe I have one, hopefully, since I messed up. I do that often, so hopefully when I do, I can show you different tricks to get around oopsies. Well, all right. Hang on a sec. That's because I'm using the wrong one. All right, gathering myself here so I don't make more mistakes. Okay, let me just dry this a little bit. I'll show you the next step really quick. And then we can put it on. I actually have one already cut out, but I want to show I did first. So we'll dry up Yeah, the glitter glaze is dried up. So now I'm going to use my Ranger embossing pen. Should be, yep, there it is. Okay, and I'm just coloring basically the same area. But I'm not worrying about leaving the cloves as they would be wet anyway. So I'm coloring the cloves as well. I'm not coloring the cinnamon sticks, except the bottom where it's in the cider. And I am going to color the rind of the orange. I'm leaving the pulp, and I'm coloring the fleshy part of the orange. And like I said, I'm not worrying about the cloves too much. They can be colored. So now I'm using icicle embossing powder. And actually, too, I forgot that. Okay. So now we've got that glitter glaze underneath, because I wanted those little pieces of yellow glitter. I think they add a nice touch to our cider. All right, just about have that. That one nail is not going. Here we go. Okay, now I already have this cut out, so I'm just going to switch them. But you can see, same thing. I spent a little more time coloring on it though. So now let's go ahead and just add this to our card. So I kind of like it coming in diagonally. I think it's fun to kind of mimic the way that the waves are going. So now this is the part that's going to be interesting, because I meant to cut it while it was on the other one, but you know, it can go on this one. I think that's okay. Yep, I think that works. I actually think I like it better because they go all the way to the end. So it worked out fine. Okay, so now we can finish this card off. So I'm going to take one of my pre-cut and pre-scored card bases, which I absolutely love. We can add this to our card base. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let me glue that really quick. And then I already stamped Radiate Kindness. And I think we'll just add that right there. We'll cover that little smudge. It's from the Sunny Sentiments stamp set. I think we'll add that about right there. I want to make sure that our sentiment isn't being covered by anything. And then I think we'll add just a little bit of something to it. So we could use the yellow. We could use, let's try these. Or these, let me see. I kind of like those. Let's try these. These are Doodlebug shape sprinkles. I think they may be sold out. If they are, I apologize. Okay. But I think that we'll just put a few little hearts kind of coming off the same color of wave. Here we can cover up the smudge. And I think we'll call that good. So just fairly simple, but I think that that is a fun way to put those two sets together. Thanks, Darren. Okay, so I did the same thing with this one, and it's already dry too and cut out. So I figured let's just use the one that I have because you know how to do it now. So we're gonna just set that right on top of that circle. And I think we'll add more of the foam to give it a little bit more dimension. Oh, thanks, Tina. Let's see, do we want the orange slice to go up or down? I'm kind of liking it down. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to get our card base. And I just need to find my sentiment that I already had done. Bear with me for a second while I figure out where I put it. I lose something every time that I'm live. Have you noticed that? And I usually find it right after. And it doesn't travel far because it's not like I walked around with it. I can have it right here ready to go. And yet it eludes me. Well, the good news is I can do it again. I just didn't want to. What was that? No, I found it. Yay. Okay. So I cut Hello Autumn from the same paper. And we're going to just add that on here. So let's first add this to our card base. Oh, and I should tell you, I did go around the cloves a little bit with gel pen just to kind of define them a little bit. Because mine were kind of blending in. Okay. So let's put this guy right down here. And then let's add some dots to this. She said, I'm live blind. Yes, I am live blind. It is a true statement. All right, I think that might actually be too many. Let me see if I like it better over there. Hang on, guys. I think they need to be spread out a little bit more. There, that's better. All right, so we've got 2 cards using the, oh, and I should tell you this little guy, this little placard, I guess you could call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's, this is from the Easy Elements die set, which is an amazing set if you want just a whole bunch of things to use for your cards, just tons of pieces that work for so many little things, just everything you can imagine. So check out. All right, so we've got both of our cards ready to go. You can see that they look, you can kind of have that liquidy look, but it's a little bit fancier because it's got the glitter glaze underneath it, which was kind of a fun experiment. I didn't realize that you could put the icicle embossing ink over the top, but I think it worked out pretty good. All right. Well, I hope that you guys were inspired and that you will have some time this weekend that you can create. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Mackie. Oh, I like the blue with the paper too. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Oh, warm tomato soup. And what kind of sandwich? Onion sandwich. Oh, that kind of sounds good. My mom always made it with grilled cheese, but I'm intrigued by an onion sandwich. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, and fantastic weekend, and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.